Imagine walking into a grocery store in 1970. You have a crisp $10 bill in your hand. At that time, $10 was a significant amount of money. That single bill could fill your entire cart with meat, milk, and bread. You could even fill up your gas tank on the way home with the change. A gallon of gas cost only 36 cents back then. A movie ticket was less than $2. Now, fast forward to 2025. That same $10 might barely buy you a gallon of milk and a small carton of eggs. The paper in your wallet looks similar, but its soul has been taken away. You have not changed. Your hard work and your dedication have not changed, but the world around you has become drastically more expensive. You are not spending more because you are reckless or wasteful. You are spending more because your money is slowly dying. This is not just a streak of bad luck or a temporary phase. This is a systemic erosion of your entire life's work. Every hour you spent working years ago is being drained of its power. It feels like you are running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster. No matter how hard your heart beats, you are barely staying in the same place. For those of us who have spent decades building a nest egg, this is a crisis. We were told that saving money was the ultimate path to safety. We were told that a pension and a savings account would be enough to relax. But the rules of the financial game changed while we were busy working. The currency we use today is not the same currency we used 40 years ago. It looks the same and it has the same names on the bills. However, its power to provide for your family is fading into history. This process started in earnest in 1971. That was the year the link between the dollar and gold was severed. Since then, the currency has become a tool of debt rather than a store of value. This is what economists call currency debasement. I prefer to call it the silent thief. It does not break into your home in the middle of the night. It does not take your physical wallet from your pocket. Instead, it reaches into your bank account and shrinks the value of every dollar you own. To survive the coming years, you must stop thinking like a saver. You must start thinking like an owner of real things. In this discussion, we will explore why this is happening and how to stop the bleeding. We will look at the 4 pillars of financial survival for 2025. First, we need to understand the invisible enemy that is driving this change. The United States national debt has recently surpassed $35 trillion. This is a number so large it is difficult for the human mind to even visualize. If you spent $1 every second, it would take you over 1 million years to spend 35 trillions. To pay for this massive debt, the government has very few options. They can raise your taxes, but that is politically difficult and unpopular. Or they can print more money to cover the interest payments. When the central bank creates trillions of new dollars out of thin air, it has a physical effect. It is like adding a gallon of water to a small bowl of soup. The bowl looks full, but the soup becomes thinner and loses all its flavor. Since the year 2020, the total supply of money has increased by over 35%. This means every dollar you earned before that time is now competing with trillions of new ones. This is the hidden tax that no one ever voted for in an election. It is a massive transfer of wealth from your savings to the government's debt. If you keep your wealth in a standard savings account, you are losing the battle. Even if the bank pays you a small amount of interest, inflation is moving much faster. You are effectively paying the bank to watch your money lose its purchasing power. This is why we must pivot our strategy immediately to protect our families. The first pillar of survival is hard assets. A hard asset is something that cannot be printed or created by a government decree. Think of things that have intrinsic value to human beings, regardless of the economy. Gold has been the ultimate store of value for over 5,000 years. It does not require a government or a bank to guarantee its worth. In the past year alone, gold has reached all-time highs, surpassing $2,700 per ounce. This is not happening because gold is getting more valuable on its own. It is happening because the dollar is getting weaker every single day. Holding a small portion of your wealth in physical gold or silver is a form of insurance. Silver is often called the poor man's gold, but it is a vital industrial metal as well. These metals act as an anchor that keeps your boat from drifting away in a storm. Real estate is another powerful hard asset if managed correctly. While housing prices are high, owning a property with a fixed-rate mortgage is a strategic move. As the dollar loses value, the real cost of your fixed debt actually goes down. You are paying back the bank with cheaper and less valuable dollars in the future. Furthermore, farmland and timberland are becoming increasingly valuable. People will always need food and materials, no matter what happens to the stock market. The second pillar is income-generating assets that can adapt to inflation. As we get older, we do not just need a static pile of cash in a vault. We need a consistent and reliable flow of money to pay for our daily needs. We need to cover groceries, utilities, and the rising costs of healthcare. In 2025, you should look for companies that provide essential services. These are businesses that have the power to raise their prices when inflation hits. Think of healthcare providers, energy utilities, and large-scale food producers. Many of these companies are known as dividend aristocrats. These are businesses that have increased their cash payments to shareholders for decades. When you own these stocks, your income has the potential to grow alongside the cost of living. It creates a natural shield against the rising prices you see at the supermarket. You should also look into real estate investment trusts, or REITs. These allow you to earn rental income without the headache of being a landlord. When rents go up due to inflation, your distribution check often goes up as well. The third pillar is the most overlooked asset of all in the modern world. It is your intellectual capital and your physical health. Knowledge is the only asset that cannot be taxed, confiscated, or stolen by a bank. Learning how to manage your own small garden is a vital skill for the future. Knowing how to fix basic things in your home reduces your dependence on expensive services. The more self-sufficient you become, the less you rely on the failing paper currency. Furthermore, your health is your greatest and most fragile form of wealth. A medical crisis in your 70s can wipe out decades of savings in a few months. Investing in high-quality, whole foods is not just a diet choice. It is a profound financial strategy to avoid the high cost of chronic illness. Every dollar you spend on your physical well-being today saves you $10 later. Do not let the system convince you that expensive pills are the only answer. Real health comes from the simple choices you make in your kitchen and your yard. The fourth pillar is community resilience and the power of local networks. In a world where the global economy feels unstable, your neighbors are your best net. We have moved away from the close-knit communities that our parents enjoyed. But in 2025, knowing who lives next door is a major strategic advantage. Trading skills and resources within a local group can bypass the formal economy. If you have a garden and your neighbor is a mechanic, you both have what the other needs. This is how our ancestors survived the Great Depression and other hard times. It is how we will protect our dignity and our standard of living moving forward. We must also focus on our psychological resilience. The news will often try to keep you in a state of constant fear and panic. Fear leads to poor financial decisions and impulsive selling of good assets. Stay calm and stay focused on the long-term trends of history. Now I want to hear from you and learn from your vast experience. Think back to the very first job you ever had when you were young. How much did you earn per hour back in those days? And more importantly, what could that money buy you at that time? Maybe it was a movie ticket for 50 cents or a gallon of gas for 30 cents. Please share those specific memories in the comments section below. When we share these stories, it helps the younger generation understand the truth. It shows them that the struggle they feel today is not due to their own failure. It is a direct result of a system that has lost its moral and fiscal way. By documenting these changes, we create a historical record of what has been taken. Your wisdom is the bridge between the world that was and the world that is coming. Protecting your wealth is about much more than just numbers on a computer screen. It is about protecting your personal independence and your human dignity. You worked too hard for too many years to let a printing press take it all away. It is time to take full control of your financial future today. Stop being a lender to a government that does not respect your lifetime of labor. Start being an owner of the real assets that the world truly needs to function. If you found this information helpful, please share it with a friend who is worried. In our next discussion, we will look at a specific 7-day plan to restructure your life. We will go step by step on how to move your capital into the permanent safety zone. The world is changing faster than ever, but you do not have to be a victim. Be proactive, be informed, and stay resilient in the face of these challenges. Please remember that this content is for educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor or a tax professional. Always consult with a qualified professional before making major financial changes. Your individual situation is unique, and you should always act with caution. Thank you for your time and for the trust you have placed in me. I will see you in the next discussion.